Hello. So I got the front end put together. I'll show you that here in a minute. Lean down here. And I'm going to go ahead and put the spindle, or not the spindles, but the discs and all that on. So my dust covers for the bearings, wrong size. I got to go back and get them. But if you've never seen, like when you're putting the bearings and all the stuff in, so I've already got these. They got the races in them. I didn't have to use the races when they come. When you buy the bearings, they'll come with new ones. And yeah, probably a good idea to do a match pair and all that, but I put them in. They seem to be just fine. So I'm gonna go with that. And if you've never seen this, I had how to grease these things. So I put, I had actually a little cup thing with grease in it and you pumped it. Never could get that to work right. And again, I just got the old school way of doing it. Reach into a bucket of grease, put it in your hand, take the bearings and chop at it. And as you can see the little opening right there where the rollers are, as you just punch that grease through there, wrap around your finger and just keep rolling it around, it will feed from the bottom and you'll see it starts coming out. So it greases all the way around these things. And this is just, you know, again, this is just the way I've always done it. And I was actually not even going to video it, but then I got thinking, I'm like, I don't know if I've ever seen a video where somebody did that. So if it helps you out, good. That's the only reason I do this stuff, other than being bored. Tammy's in the house cleaning today because people are coming over tomorrow for Thanksgiving, and she gets in a mode, and I mean, if any of y'all got women, y'all understand it. So better for me just to come out in the shop. Actually, Thanksgiving, not tomorrow. Kids are coming home. One of the kids coming home today, and we will start making pies and cookies and that kind of stuff. So you see most of the grease is gone, and it's in there. You can see where it's poking out the top, and then I just coat it, squeeze it, get it all in there. And that little cup thing, I've seen one, had one, it worked, but hell, I couldn't find it again to save my life. It was I either lost it in a move, most likely. It disappeared in the divorce along with all my other tools. That, whole different story. Taking shit that you don't even know what it is, but because I wanted it, well, you know how that goes. So anyway, that's it. Now the small one, and just tap it full, fills it up in there. Let me do this one real quick, and I'll show you what I finished on the frame. I put the front sway bar in. That was a little bit of a wrestling match. And then I had to swap out some bolts because the curve of this sway bar bushing bracket was, I had some try to save as much as I can because I'm about empty. I had bolts with some washers on them, and because of the shape of the sway bar bracket, it didn't want to fit too good. So that's that. This part then comes easy. Put the bearings in, put the seals in on top, and 100 videos on that are out there. That's just a little quick greasy. Stuck my phone in a vise and hope I didn't break anything. Had a stand out here but disappeared. But I was just going to show you this. Again, this is what I ended up doing. So, kind of hard to look. But once this was mounted, to get this in here and fit, I ended up putting a big C-clamp on here, just getting the bolt started right there, because there wasn't room for everything, and just pull it down with the bolt, and then I just put a C-clamp on it, and I had to loosen all the bolts up under here, and then you can see what I actually found was I had some washers. They were too big around here. So at some swap meet last year, I had found these Allen wrenches, Allen head bolts, I mean, and they worked fine. And then I got the shocks in, and that's just a stock shock, nothing spectacular about it. But a lot of this is just to let you see how everything is, because if you've got a reference, it's a lot easier to look at and put yours back together. But again, nice and clean black epoxy. That's what I used on this stuff. Brake fluid, gas, nothing will hurt it. I did put the transmission mount in for the 4-speed. And you all probably know what I already did, or I'm going to tell you real quick. I put it in backwards, just like anything else. I sit here and I'm thinking about it. I'm like, that looks odd, but in my mind, I had it right. And then the more I looked at it, I'm like, no, that's not right. So I had to take this whole thing out again and flip it around. I don't like doing the phone like that. That's on the selfie side. I did it so I could see what I was doing a while ago, but don't lag me. So anyway, that's it on the frame. I will put the discs on and bearings, and that, again, easy stuff. Put the bearings on, torque them down. Just keep spinning. If you really want to see any of that, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going through with the parts and pieces and what's there. I think that's it. I've went through the boxes. I got to order a intermediate shaft. I got looking at everything that I had, and my intermediate shaft was all ripped. The rubber was ripped in it right there. And then that part, again, just rusty crap. The last one of those I bought was probably 80 bucks. They're $160 now. And I can only find them at Parts Place and Classic Camaro or something like that. And that's it. And I was also, I think, on this steering shaft, I think there's supposed to be a round plastic cover that snaps over that. Gotta do a little more research. If you know that one's there, holler at me. I don't think they reproduce them. And I'm not talking about the one that goes down on the steering gear that covers the end down there. It's a big one. That's not it. I think I've got that one somewhere, but I think there's a little round one that slips on there. Again, probably not needed. This thing will never see weather, but that's something I wanted to look at, see if I can find it. And that's it on the brakes. Oh, one thing I did do, so I take all of these, even though they're supposed to have a coating on them, I clear coat all of this. So I just make me a little, tape this off or put a little paper on it, and I'll just clear coat it. So after sitting here all winter, it don't start rusting. Another thing I'll do is I use this. I may have showed you this stuff on the body work. It's picklex 20. And what I do with that, well, I use it for mainly when I'm doing body work. If I sandblast something or scuff something down, you can put the picklex on there. It'll sit outside in the rain a year and not rust. Then when you're ready to, you can just sand it and primer right over it. Picklex 20, really good stuff. And like I say, it's not a coating. It just, I'm not sure what it does, but well, I actually put some on here to keep these from rusting. I actually put a little picklex 20 on here, and I wipe this edge with it, and it will not. I mean, I'm gonna say it's gonna rust eventually, but through this whole winter build process, and then I know I've stuck pieces outside for a year in the rain. Might get a little bit, but for the most part, stays silver. I've done that with fenders and things forever. But that stuff really works good. Use it. And that's it. I'm going to finish greasing this stuff, start putting these on, and then I can do brake calipers. And at that point, when I've got that on where I'm safe, and I'll actually put a wheel on the frame, 2 wheels. And then, so probably here after Thanksgiving, next day or two, I'll probably put the transmission in. My clutch came in, so I'll put it to the motor, get the motor installed, and that's it. The clutch that came in, I just got a stock replacement, 11-inch. That was a Summit. I looked at all the other stuff, and then I was, you always kind of want to upgrade and do better. But like a Center Force, 450, 500 bucks. McLeod, however you say that. A little more expensive, but they really didn't even have one that fit. That was a stock. You can always go 10-inch, whatever, but this is not a huge horsepower motor, 400 horsepower, 430 pounds of torque, I think. Double what it had from the factory. But I call a buddy of mine who's got a blown motor, and he didn't even get ridiculous. He bought a heavy one, but not needed. So anyway, that seems to be the consensus. Don't need a really heavy duty clutch. And I think that's it as far as the pieces. I'll see what I've got, make me a list, and we'll do another video coming to you soon.